Hello class, I will be showing you how to install and configure a DNS server. First thing you want to download is the bind and bind utilities packages for our DNS server. Type the command yum -y install bind utils. Taking a while here. Alright, so I have it already installed. Once installed, now you want to check the date on the system because this is one of the most important things. Or you have an error down the road when you're configuring DNS. Okay, my date is perfectly fine. But if your date is wrong, install NTP with yum-y install NTP. Okay, I have it already installed. Now go to the text editor with vim etc ntp. Okay, and make some changes here. Only one change. You have to find your pool for your country. Please, where it says please consider joining the pool, you go down here and enter your pool. You can get your pool from Google by typing your country and NTP pool, and you should get pool, and you can put it onto this file. Once you do that, you escape out of here, WQ, and you type systemctl restart NTP to restart the file to confirm your changes. And then you check the date again and see if it's better. Another important thing is checking the host on the system. Okay, type host name, and you can see your host name. And type host name -- FQDN to see a fully qualified domain name. Okay, if you want to change this, well, we're going to have to change it for this. Go into the hostname file by typing vim etc hostname. And this is where you enter your hostname that you choose. But for this assignment, I recommend name server. WQ. And now we go to the host file. Again, etc host. And this is where the magic happens. You add your IP address first, full one here, your host name .itpings.com. This is your fully qualified domain name, and it ends with your host name here. After you do all this, get out the file. Now to add your host name to the network manager, type in the command nmtui, and you should be prompted to this. Or it will ask you to download some packages for the network manager, and it only takes a couple minutes probably. Set system host name. Yeah, this is very important. Okay. Okay. I think we should do that. Now to confirm the changes by typing host name ctl -- static set host name server. And now your host name should be confirmed on the system. Host name, again, host name -- fully qualified domain FQDN. Ooh, what did I type? Don't do that. Host name. Now, to access the DNS configuration files that we downloaded from Bind, type sd etc ls. That's my files. Now type ls -ltr named.conf. Okay. Now go into the file for named. etc named.conf. Okay, this is where the magic happens. Let's see. The first important change that you want to do on this file is whatever was right here, change it to any. Okay, once you do that, you go down to allow query and you change this to any also. And this will allow any user to query. And now go down to where it says zones. This will come later after we do something real quick. Exit out this file, save and quit, WQ. Okay, now we have to configure our zones, our forward and reverse zones, because we're creating a full back DNS server. Type the command cd /var/named to enter the DNS files. And now ls. Okay. Where you see name.localhost and name.loopback. Those will be our two zones, the localhost being our forward zone and the name.loopback being our reverse zone. So now we have to copy those files into fwd/zone/itpings.com. I've already done it, but I'll be showing you how to do it. To copy, we use a cp command to copy. cp named .localhost fwd slash zone slash it pings.com. And that's for the forward zone. Check it, make sure it's correct. And since I already copied it, I'm not doing it again. Change this to REV and copy, press enter for both of them. And now we have our two zones, forward and reverse. Remember or write down the names of those two. Now we go back into etc cd slash etc. And now we will be copying named. So cp, so type cp name.conf. Named.conf to org.1. Okay, create this, copy this. Since I already done it, I'm not going to do it again on my system, but we're copying the main DNS file. Now we go back to the main configuration file for the DNS. So we type vim etc name.conf okay. Now this is an important, very important part. It was only one zone, the default for the configuration file, but we added these two zones here. Well, I added them, but you should add them now. Very important. Zone, host name, fully qualified domain name, and the file we just made, fwd zoneitpings.com, is the file that we copied from the localhost, and we created into our forward. FWD standing for forward, and copy all this, everything else up here. Yes, we copy everything here. Zone, you do not copy this. This is your IP address from the system, but in reverse, delete 3, not the host. Okay, and in area, copy this, and you connect your reverse zone file here. And once you do that, we now have to configure those two files. So get out of it. WQ, you type escape, WQ to leave. Almost, you know. Now that we defined our zones, once you're done, let's configure the file for our forward zone first. So vim we go back into name, vim, copy this, forward, this is our forward zone, copy here. Okay, this is the most important part, one of the most important parts. Copy what I have here. NS1 is a user-defined short version of my host name, so I'm just making it my fully qualified domain name shorter. Okay, this dot after com dot is important. Every time you have a com notice everything everywhere I have .com . So this is my fully qualified domain name. This is my email. And just copy everything here. The shortened version of my fully qualified domain name. And address to my IP address. NS1, this NS1 here. And it resolved to my IP address, host name, and it adds to my IP address. This is your IP address here, these last three, and just copy everything here. Once you're done, save it, WQ. And now we do the same for the reverse zone. Okay, just like the forward zone, and we'll be copying this ns1.itpings.com and then root.itpings.com ns1. This is my fully qualified domain name. This is my email address. Go down here into your shortened full qualified domain name. Yes, up here I said this is my fully qualified domain. This is my shortened version of it. The last one here is actually my fully qualified domain name. This number here, you copy everything here except for this number. This number is the host portion of your IP address. And the host portion of your IP address points to PTR pointer to your fully qualified domain name. Once you're done copying that, save, quit, and now you want to restart name. Go ahead and clear it up. Too many stuff on the screen. System, CTL, restart. Name. Okay, very good, no problem so far. And now we want to check our zones. Make sure our zones, our forward and reverse zones, are fully functional and the system can connect to them. So now we type named / check zone name server .itpings.com /from /name fwd -zone -itpings.com. Just check it real quick, name, check zone, everything correct. And it says okay, it's working. Now we do our reverse zone. The first one was our forward zone. Now we will be doing our reverse zone. So if you remember correctly, hold on, go back into the etc, the main configuration file for our DNS conf. And remember this right here, this is going to be your IP address in reverse, but remember this in ARPA, remember this, okay? We'll be typing that in the terminal. Check zone. Make sure it's correct. Okay, system gave us an okay. And now type system CTL restart name. Okay, no errors, very nice. Okay, now let's go back into etc, clear that, cd, type ls -ltr name.conf configuration file, because now we want to see the ownership. Okay, I've already changed the ownership to named, but originally it's root. So if you want to change that, we will use the command ch. You have to change it. CHOWN name conf, and then press enter, and ownership will change to name instead of root. Okay. Now we will do the same for our forward zones. Okay. Type cd /var named ls -ltr fwd, our forward zone, and it pings.com. I've already changed it to name. But you will have to change it yourself. So you type in okay. CHOWN named, and then put the file here for our forward zone to change ownership to name. I already done it, but originally it's supposed to be root. And you do the same thing for the reverse zone, rev. Okay. And once you do that, now we move on to the fun part. Restart name, system, CTL, restart name. Okay. And now what you want to do is the final steps. If you already configured everything and no errors, then it should be easy for you. System CTL status name, and voila, our DNS server is up and running. Now, to make sure everything is perfectly working, you want to ping Google. www.google.com. And if you can ping, then you successfully configured your DNS server.